Wrestling fans and around the world. Tonight is a special night coming to you live and direct from Los Angeles, California on a beautiful, hot, sunny day. Or should I say, hot, sunny afternoon. Today's September 11th, 2012 in Southern California. A night that should have been probably very upbeat. We're not sad, just remembering everybody what's been going on, remembering all the good times, even the bad times at sometimes. Um, September 11th, a few years ago, New York was under attack by two terrorists. Well, not just two terrorists, but you know what I mean. The only company out there to decide to take the ball in their hands was actually the WWE. They said, hey, you know what? We're not going to be scared about this. They were the first and only event promoted that week to go live on air and say, hey, you know what? We're just going to stand on our own 2 feet and do what they do best and keep the show running. My name is El.CIBERNETICO, along with the man from Ohio, the one, the only, Mr. Sean Jones. Mr. Jones!
Hey, what's up? How everybody doing today? You know, it was a beautiful day yesterday. It was a good day, and to say a prayer to everybody that even today for 9/11. I know a lot of people still kind of hit them hard after so many years. But my condolences still go out to those, and we can all still get through this.
Exactly. I mean, same here goes out to everybody out there. I mean, seriously, I mean, let's go back in time real quick, Sean. I mean, what were you doing back when September 11th happened?
Wow. I was at the time I was working for a company, and I just so happened to clock in that time as the first plane hit the trade center, and I'm thinking it was a movie, playing, and everybody's like, "Sean, turn around." I'm like, "What? What's going on?" And I'm still clueless to what's happening, and I'm like, "Okay, it's a movie." They're like, "No, this is real. This is happening right now in New York." And I'm like, "Wow." Like my jaw dropped when I saw the second plane hit,
All right.
and so I got a call from my mom saying, "Hey, you might want to check on your dad." And I'm like, and it's like I was still puzzled. Like, are you
Mm.
serious? I'm like, hesitant to even call because like I hate to call there and something happened or I don't get anything. But luckily, he was okay after that.
Right.
But
I
yeah,
mean,
it's
go ahead.
crazy. It was just like a movie. It was just unreal.
Right. I mean, when I think about it, even sometimes people trip out when I tell them the story about like what happened. I'm gonna make a long story short. We got tons to talk about, but let me make this short and quick. Uh, Basically, I was working for this company for a gateway, and what you might call it, in California, usually when something happens, especially when something happens in the East Coast, everybody out here, not that we don't care about you guys, it was more like, oh, it happened out there. Let's get back to work.
Right.
It didn't happen on our side, but it happened on your side. So I was like, oh, okay. You know, hopefully you guys get through it. Back to work, everybody. No one really paid
Right.
attention when the first plane hit. And people thought, oh, it was just a, tragic accident. Plane accident. Plane crash, basically. No one paid attention in our warehouse. And they were like, yeah, fuck it. Anyways, back to work. Did you guys see the game last night? Yeah, it was crazy, all right? Oh, shit. Yeah, blah, 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 and this and that. All right, cool, whatever. Back to work. Next, you know, you hear this girl. She starts crying, talking about a second plane. I'm like, what? Like, what the hell are they talking about? Everybody, I swear, just jumped on their radios because everybody had like their own, section where you work at. And they got their radios. They all bumped it. They put on K Rock. They actually put it on Howard Stern because we like hearing him in the morning. He always likes talking shit in the morning. Howard Stern's freaking out. And he's like, what the hell's going on? Blah, 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 this and that. He's like, we're being under attack. Blah, blah, blah. When he said we're being under attack, I kid you not, my heart just dropped. I was like, wow, is this serious? Like, is this really happening? I thought, okay, it's Howard Stern. Maybe he's just bullshitting. Maybe because he likes fucking around sometimes.
Yeah.
Turns out, dude, this shit was real, man. I was like, God dang. I'm like, are you serious? And next, the third plane crashed. And I was like, what? Like, really? Like, are you serious? And that's when the third one, that's when not to sound like a damn hypocrite or an asshole or anything, but seriously, when the third one hit, I was like, wow, like, we're seriously in trouble now. You
Right.
know what I mean? And
And
like I said, not to be an ass, but hey, it's like it took three plane crashes for us to everybody on the west side to be like, oh my god, we're in trouble now. It's like, but let's see, the thing was, everybody on the west coast really thought at first, we all thought it was just a typical plane crash,
right.
you know, typical accident. And it's like till you see the third one, it's like, okay, now it's serious. I mean, LAX shut down, everything shut down. You couldn't really go anywhere. And
And
that was the hardest thing ever, to have your family stuck at home and you're in a damn warehouse. It's like, oh damn. Like, things just, like, I hate to say this, but shit just got real.
it did, and it was just like, I mean, you think about it, like they took planes into buildings, and every time I think about it, and every time I saw it happen, it was like, and hear about it, it's kind of like taking a missile and hitting you right at home, because you have family, and you have family everywhere, but you have family there in New York, or people that worked at the Pentagon, just like, wow. And it's just like it's it's something crazy to hear and see, because it's in your backyard,
Right.
you know. Like I said, I still, I pray, that families still, who are still overwhelmed by this, tragedy that's happened, get through it, you know.
Exactly. Speaking of getting through things, last night, in case for those of you that have been sleeping under a rock, Jerry the King Lawler suffered a heart attack last night during, I believe, primetime players versus Kane and Daniel Bryan. Um, for those of you that actually were paying attention to the show, if you pay close attention to the match, King actually starts blabbering about, like, no disrespect, King. Hope you pull through this and everything. But he starts blabbering, and it's like, I even went like, what the hell is he talking about? Like, he started talking about sledgehammers, and he should have done something else when there was no action going on at the time. It was just a collar tie up. When the first, you know notice, they should have noticed something was wrong. It was a collar tie up, and then he starts rambling about blah blah blah, and then he starts coughing, and then that's when all hell broke loose.
Yeah. I mean, that was kind of a scary thing there, to see this, well, not to see, but to hear what was going on, because like, I say it like this. I was watching the friend sent me a tape of the Owen Hart incident that happened at
Right.
over the edge, and when you see something like that, and it's not part of the entertainment, you I know they have procedures to do, but that right there was something that was unexpected. Anything could happen, and to see Lawler like that, even in the photos I gotten from different reports and friends is scary because, like, as a wrestling fan, Jerry Lawler had always been there.
Right.
And Lawler went through certain things like that, from JR having a stroke on the show to Owen Hart, like I said before. And I kind of feel, I do feel bad for Michael Cole because he was sitting right next to him.
Right. I mean, we were talking about this earlier. Cole kept saying this is not part of the angle. This is being, basically saying this is real. Um, I think he said this is not entertainment or something like that. But I seriously thought it was. I'm not gonna lie. I really thought it was because here's the thing: you got them doing their thing like that, and then out of nowhere, you know, he just keeps blabbering about that. And weeks before that, they actually had Cole kind of do things on his own. The whole let me have somebody come in and co-host with me, basically. It's like it kind of made you think and wonder about that. It's like are they being for real with that? Or what exactly are they doing over there? And it just tripped me out. I mean, because it did seem for a while, like oh they were, you know, they're just bullshit. Maybe they were just bullshitting, but clearly the one thing that gave it away that it was for real was the fact that if you pay close attention to the center of the ring, the people on the other side of the first two rows, they just stopped watching the match. They completely just stopped watching the match, and they kept pointing like towards King and King and Cole and everything.
Right.
And that right there is when I was like, okay, now once again, now it's like here we go again. Something went down.
Yeah, it's you know it's something that, and I know fans there that were at the event, was kind of like shocked too. I mean, you have to be shocked.
Right.
You pay your ticket, you go see it, and you're not expecting, one of the legends in the game, a Hall of Famer,
Right.
to do this. And I'll say it like this with Lawler. Lawler is, and I can't think of any word other than the man,
Right.
because he, weeks before, he was in matches with CM Punk, and he was going hard. He was going harder than I ever seen him in years, even when he did matches back in the Attitude Era, you
Right.
know. But for him to take, what he's been going through these last 3 weeks, I have seen him just go hard.
Right. I mean, it got to me a little bit because actually my dad went through that, and I know what Cole is going through because when that happened to my own father, I mean that was pretty crazy because my dad was like telling me what happened. Basically, he also had a heart attack, and we were at the we were at a market at a supermarket out here, and he was walking out in the parking lot, and he just told me, and he just started rambling, just like the king did. Like I said, if you guys pay close attention to that clip, he just starts rambling about certain things, and it's like what, like out of nowhere, just starts rambling, and same thing happened with my dad too. He starts rambling about other things. He's like, are you ready to go to such and such? And I'm like, what? Like, what are you talking about? We're not even going that way. It's like, huh? Like what? Next, he collapses and he falls. I'm like, oh shit, okay. I was like, I thought at first I just thought, hey, he slipped, but no. Then he started, clenching his chest and everything. I'm like, oh, okay. And sure enough, ambulance came and they took him in and stuff. And whatchamacallit, at the hospital, it happened again. Now this time it's even more scary like this because it's like he just stopped saying anything. Like we were talking about, I was just trying to keep him, keep him alert. Just started talking about random things, and he we started talking about baseball, and I don't know where he's like, you know what? He's like, earlier when I felt, when I fell, he's like, I started feeling like this. And then he just started shaking, and then his eyes rolled back. I'm like, wow. I'm
Mm.
like, I kind of had a feeling I know what Cole was going through because I had that feeling in my stomach. And I was like, and we were in the hospital already, in the ER room and everything. And to see someone just collapse like that, like, it is a nasty ass feeling.
Mm.
So I mean, like I said, I know what Cole's going through. I mean, seriously, it's heartbreaking, dude. Especially when you
Right.
can't do nothing about it, And it's like just see your loved one just suffer like that. Like, wow.
Yeah, and I have to say, big props to Cole for even handling that, and even just saying, there's not going to be any commentary right now because out of respect for him and out of respect because the fact that I know that whatever he's going through, of course, you do not want to hear this. He wants to be right by, you know, even though he didn't leave, but he wanted to be right there. He wanted to get the information before he even get back on air,
Right.
and it's very professional. And just even like I said, it's professional of WWE events or whoever's running the day-to-day basis. It's professional of them to keep the show going and
Right.
give us update to the king. And I hope they continue to do that as the days goes by, as we catch up and
Yeah.
get the information. You know.
I hope King doesn't have to go through that with what my dad went through, but um, reading the last updates, it sounds like it. I hope not, but it sounds like it. He might be getting a pacemaker. Last update I read was he was on a respirator.
Right. That's
Um,
the last I heard too.
yeah, and by going by experience, by what my own dad went through, it usually ends like that. First, you're in the ICU, then you go into the respirator, and then after that, they let you know do you need a pacemaker or not. For my dad's sake, I mean, his was more serious. I mean, my dad, you know, just wasn't that healthy. Basically, what I'm trying to say, he wasn't that healthy, so they straight just jumped into pacemaker status. And hopefully King pulls through this one. I mean, seriously, I mean, I know it's a little Debbie Downer right now, but seriously, our thoughts and prayers go out to Jerry the King and all in his family.
Right.
But let me try to brighten the day up a little bit. Let's go back to
Yeah.
Raw real quick. Last night, this was an interesting match, believe it or not. First, starting off in the first hour, you had Kofi Kingston, R-Truth versus The Miz and Antonio Cesaro, the man with the sickest beats right now in the WWE. Let's be honest. Uh, do you like his theme? I mean, I do.
It's interesting. I'll give it that.
It's
It's very
original, right?
interesting. Right.
Yeah. This match actually went for a good while. What do you think is going on with this? I mean, Antonio Cesaro, Miz teaming up together, going up against Kofi and Truth. I honestly thought we were going to see somebody else. Maybe Justin Gabriel. I was about to say Just Incredible. Maybe Justin Gabriel
Oh,
and Tyson Kidd. Yes, I still remember Just Incredible.
wow. That's a throwback.
Exactly.
um. Yeah, I was kind of actually shocked of this match. I was shocked on this match. Miz and the Intercontinental Champion and Antonio, the U.S. Champ, going up against uh, Truth Boom or Boom Truth, whatever you want to call it. I want to call it something else, but I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good.
Yeah.
Um, I was actually hoping to see either the Usos or another tag team, even primetime players. But as I was watching this match, Miz and Antonio, very mixed match. I mean, our Truth and Kofi Kingston was on beat. They looked good.
Oh my God. Moving on. For both of us, we had a pretty good night last night. If those of you guys playing the fantasy league over at WCC, for those of you guys that don't know what the WCC Fantasy League is, there's only one way to find out. Go to facebook.com/group/Wrestling Commentary Central, and you'll find out what it's all about.
Yes,
Last
please
night,
do.
last night, my boy, my draft pick, Randy Orton, went on a double shift.
Yes, he did, and he earned those wins. He really did.
First off, the WWE Universe ended up choosing the match. Would it be CM Punk versus, I believe, King, or who else was the other pick?
Brodus Clay.
Brodus Clay or Randy Orton. Of course, the WWE Universe decided to say, "Hey, Orton, take a shot at it." Wow. Orton ended up being Punk. Punk decided to be a little bitch about things again.
Yeah, Randy Orton won by disqualification.
After that, AJ, during the commercial breaks, I guess AJ sent a text somewhere to somebody saying, "Hey, you know what? Get back in the ring. Dolph Ziggler, Randy Orton versus King. Randy Orton and King versus Dolph Ziggler and CM Punk. Match started all over again. But the teaser himself, the mad scientist, the creative genius of ECW, Mr. Paul Heyman, decided to come back. Said,
Yeah,
"Hey, go ahead."
no. Heyman. Hey, all I gotta say is Heyman. He falls in that line of genius.
Yes, he does.
Just straight genius.
I wonder if Dixie Carter is actually kicking her own ass right now, saying, "Hey, you know what? I fucked up by not signing this guy."
She has to. I mean, come on. I mean, look, like you had a chance
Right.
to get this guy. You had Bischoff and then you had Heyman. Both genius. Good for controversy and both good. They were good promoters at the time. At the time, let me say that at the time.
Right.
But Heyman's still up on his game. He can work with anything.
Right. Now let's be honest. If you was running TNA, would you have signed him?
Oh heck yeah, it's Heyman.
Why? Besides the creative genius, why?
Well, I mean, if you look at his background, look at everything that he's done between, he brought a lot of good wrestlers from our era into this era.
Right.
You still, I mean, you had your RVDs, you had your Brock Lesnar, which I think he's still kind of working on them. And I mean, with Heyman, he has a genius mind. I have not yet seen anything that Heyman has ever done wrong. Everything that he has done was either good for business or good for controversy. And with him, it was good controversy.
You're right about that one. Let me ask you this: Do you think? Do you think they could have single-handedly destroyed WWE, TNA, Paul Heyman, Bischoff, even Russo and Ed Ferreira? For those of you who don't know who Ed Ferreira is, one of the head writers out there. But yeah,
Would they destroy WWE?
yeah.
They would hang with him on ratings. I'll say that. They probably wouldn't. They wouldn't destroy it, but they would give him They would have given him a run for their money if they would have if you let Bischoff and Heyman run it. And I'm not saying anything bad about Russo. Russo have done everything creatively.
Right.
And because it's still professional wrestling, you still got politics. and even you have Dixie, because I'll say it right now, and I'm sorry, Dixie, if you hear this, you still do not have a close handle on what you know about professional wrestling. I mean, yeah, you have Hogan, whatever the work that is, and then you have Bischoff, who's good, but you still need someone who knows wrestling.
Right.
And who else? You need another mind. You can't have half of a mind. You need another piece of your brain and to know how to get stuff done. And you would have had Bischoff and you would have had Heyman.
Right. All right. All right. The moving on. I mean, this was kind of interesting. Did you see this coming? Good old Kane, Daniel Bryan teaming up, going up against, I believe it was, oh damn, I lost my page here. But you know what?
Titus.
Yes, yes. Was it prime
Titus.
time? Yeah, it was
Prime
prime time.
time players.
Yes, yes.
Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars.
See, for some weird reason, when you were saying that, I was doing the hula hoop.
Really?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. I guess I'll be
Yeah.
the Darren Young of the group. Just
Well,
doing the hula hoop.
you got that, and that you got to have a pick in your hair.
That too, right? Did you actually see this coming? I mean, did you actually think Kane and Daniel Bryan were actually going to win this?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, is it over for primetime players? Is it over? Could this be true? Could this be true? What I said a long while back? Without AW, they ain't going anywhere?
I'll say it like this: there's a silver lining for every tag team, supposedly. Titus O'Neil, Darren Young, they're still young superstars, and they can still. I mean, they can get in the ring. They have that ruthless aggression that is missed in a lot of teams, and if they play their cards right and just hop back on the horse and get it in,
Right.
because I mean, right now, because the match was basically for the new number one contenders, which is now Kane and Daniel Bryan. But who's to say Kane and Daniel Bryan can top off, R-Truth and Kofi Kingston?
Right.
So I mean, Titus O'Neil and Darren Young, they can get it done. They just gotta get their minds back and dominate. But it's going to be pretty hard now because now you got a new tag team.
I mean, primetime players, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, uh, having them sit down with Cole that one night on SmackDown, hey, they did a good job. They did an awesome job, They really did. And it's like, out of nowhere, they just started going a little downhill, downhill, and downhill. With even the rumors talking about how Mysterio and Sin Cara are actually going to team up and become tag team champions as well. I didn't see that coming.
Let me say this. I've been eyeing this for I've been eyeing this for weeks now.
Okay.
And I don't mean to get off of WWE just yet, but it seems that the tag team division from TNA, the planets that are relying with TNA has shifted. Now WWE, where we were all talking about where there was no tag team, now there's tag teams in WWE now. They're trying to use it now. But
Right.
but here's the thing though. I mean, WWE is actually taking superstars and making them relevant now. It's making them. They're putting the spotlight on the tag team division, which is awesome.
Right.
I knew somewhere down the road, Sin Cara and I'm not gonna say R-Truth. I'm sorry, Rey Mysterio was good.
By the way, I'm not breathing hard. There's a lot of wind kicking in here. But go ahead.
Are you looking at Divas pictures?
No, not yet.
Okay.
It's not midnight yet.
I'm looking at Naomi.
I'm like, it's not midnight yet, but yeah.
Yeah, that after hour WWE.
Exactly. The after dark hour. I didn't
but
say that, but yeah.
but yeah, seeing Sin Cara and Ray, they actually make a good team. I'm, I mean, they both have that luchador style. You know,
Right.
well, Ray has the luchador American style, and Sin Cara has that luchador style. Period. You know, and that's what's missing now. The WWE is diversity of that style of wrestling, and they're making it cool as hell.
Hmm. Now, would you agree with me on this one? Do you believe that ain't gonna happen? Please tell me you agree with me on that one.
That
Mysterio and Sin Cara will not be a tag team or part of the tag team division.
wow, that's actually a hard one because I don't see them even. I don't even see them winning the tag team championship or even being part of that division. I think they're
Good.
just good as. I mean, they're good as solo, but putting them together, they're a nice team. But I don't see them being part of the division at all.
Good, because I mean, hey, soon as people just start seeing people tag with each other, that's the first thing that pops in my head. Oh my God, they're part of the division now. Oh my God, they're the new champs. I'm like, no, they're not. Slow it down. It was a
Yeah, and
one
that's
night
what.
only thing, Slow it down.
Well, to the WWE, they're loving it because so far, how many matches they had? Three that they were tag team with in,
And they won them all.
and they won them all.
Mm.
I mean, I don't know. Hey, maybe WWE is trying to come on or something, but I don't see it happening though.
Now this next match really tripped me out. We had Alberto del Rio and Tyson Kidd from Canada. The reason why I really thought Tyson Kidd was going to pull this one off and give Del Rio an upset. A lot of people have been saying that Tyson Kidd is getting a push. Tyson Kidd is ready. Tyson Kidd could even be your next Intercontinental Champion, which I doubt.
Hmm.
Being in his hometown, he lost.
Wow.
Well,
Tragedy.
I shouldn't say in his hometown. It should more like his homeland, because I don't really know if he's from Montreal or Toronto.
Same here. I have no idea.
But he's
And I'm
Canadian, and
and I'm
and
and
I,
I'm so, and I'm sorry, Tyson. I know we're on Twitter, but I, he's been talking about Canada like it's his home, and it probably is.
I really thought Tyson Kidd was going to pull an upset. Obviously, he didn't. Uh, what trips me out is, please, Del Rio, don't try to drop pipe bombs. Yeah, that didn't look good on you, dude. I'm sorry. He's all talking shit and like, oops, pipe bomb. I dropped the mic. I'm out.
Wow.
Yeah,
Eh,
I'm sorry, dude.
So wait a minute. So you thought Tyson was actually going to win this?
I believe so. Hey, shout outs to Ronnie. Ronnie, I actually thought, what you told me one time. Hey, Tyson Kidd's gonna get a push. Tyson Kidd's gonna do this and that. Tyson Kidd,
Yeah.
blah blah blah. And look what happened, Ronnie, for reading spoilers. Thank you very much. Exactly. Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you. Moving on. Due to the whole situation, what happened with the King and stuff, I mean, these last two matches were put together. It almost seemed like they got put together for no damn reason. Sheamus versus Otanga, and then you had Daniel. I mean, I'm sorry, you had Sheamus and Otanga. Then you had Cody Rhodes versus Rey Mysterio main event spotlight time. Very interesting. And they finished it off with Cena talking shit about CM bitch. I mean CM Punk.
Hmm. You're still on that, aren't you?
Oh yeah, yeah. Trust me. As long as he's champion, I hate to say this, and for all you Cena lovers out there, yeah. Oh man, I don't like Cena at all, and I'm not an undercover Cena fan. Let's be honest. I stick to my people. Alberto Del Rio, your next world heavyweight champion, but enough of that.
Hmm. So you, so, all I gotta say is CM Punk is the WWE champion for a reason. And that's all I gotta say. It's just with. Don't get me wrong. Like, I know there's a lot of Cena lovers out there. I'm sorry, I don't dig the Fruity Pebble. I'm sorry, but you got to look at it this way. CM Punk beat John Cena, has not won a match against CM Punk. John Cena has not won a match against CM Punk one-on-one. And it's one of those things where now, because now you throw Heyman in it, who knows? In my honest opinion, I truly do believe that CM Punk is going to retain his title and he'll walk off in the sunset. But as for Sheamus and Del Rio, man, let me tell you, WCC fans, there's another reason why Sheamus has his title. I mean, yeah, he's good. He's a good champion. I'm not gonna lie, he is a good champion. But now that you have Randy Orton back in the mix, is gonna make it pretty damn hard for him. And then you got Del Rio breathing down his neck. So, do you really think Sheamus is gonna walk away with this title now? I mean, there's so much on Sheamus's plate.
Sean, I'm sorry, we got some technical difficulties out here, but I'm back.
Okay. That's okay. I was just telling fans, just asking fans, like, what do they think that? I mean, is Sheamus really gonna walk out Night Champion as a champion? And I'm like, I'm just saying, like, hey, he has to look behind his back for Ziggler. Randy Orton is still, beaming for the title, and then you have Del Rio. And Del Rio is really working on Sheamus. I mean, I believe Del Rio is softening up Sheamus for Ziggler.
Right. Is it going to happen? Do you think, by any chance, Dolph Ziggler will cash in?
No. And this is the reason why, because I really think he should have cashed in at SummerSlam.
Right.
And yeah, I have him as my franchise player on my fantasy league. I just kind of lost all hope that he was going to catch it this time around, and I don't even think he's going to catch it this time. Either he's playing it smart, either he's playing it smart, or Vicky's telling him to play it smart.
Whoa, Vicky is actually telling someone to be smart about it? Vicky Guerrero. Well, no, I'll get into that. That's something else. That's something totally different.
Hey.
Wrestling fans and around the world, are you ready? This gentleman from the big PA. I'm sorry to keep you guys on so long, but it's been emotional, talking about the king and, family issues. November 11th, the whole works. Gentlemen, on anything.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
We're sorry to keep you on hold for a little while. It's been an emotional day, but how you doing?
I was doing all right, but 9/11's gonna 9/11 and everything with the king notwithstanding, it was like it's a lot to take. There was a lot to take on today. So.
Yes, it was. Alongside with us, I'm sorry, Maurice, but alongside with us also is Paul Martin. Paul Martin, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Oh, now put the porno down and tell me, what is going on with the king? Any last updates that you hear or read about?
The last update, 7:44 on Lords of Pain. They said that he might have had brain damage, but then who knows with, the more news that are coming in. I just hope he is going to come out healthy.
Right.
Pretty soon.
Thoughts and prayers go out to the King family now.
going back to Sean's comment, did you guys think, or do you guys think this Sunday, Night of Champions in Boston, ladies and gentlemen, it's one-on-one with CM Punk and John Cena. Maurice, who's going to be the new champ? Is it going to be John Cena?
Somehow, yes it was, because let's be real, he hasn't really had like a really big moment, and let's see, while he's still in his prime, it's like he hasn't had a championship all season, or all year, so I think this is that point in time where he gets his time to shine for like a calendar year. So.
Woo! Paul Martin, CM Punk or John Cena?
CM Punk I'm going for.
Why?
Because I just don't want John Cena to become champion again, because it just kind of makes me, feel like it's the never-ending trend of making him champion every time, but then the fans will, just hate it, and then it's like the kids will go like, yay, and then everybody's going to go, boo, screw you.
All right. John Cena.
Huh?
Sean, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I didn't hear.
Oh. The question was, who do you think is going to take this? John Cena or CM Punk?
CM Punk.
Why? ¿Por qué?
Well, let me say something about your boy CM Punk. Now, CM Punk, we already know he's on this title reign. I forgot how many days. I know it's almost been more than 2 months now, but still, either way it goes, he's on a roll. And now that he's backing up with Paul Heyman,
right?
Paul Heyman, he will leave the Night of Champions as a champion. And let's even look at it this way: John Cena hasn't won a one-on-one match against CM Punk since he became champion. Yeah, he didn't win it. He didn't win one last year. He didn't win at the at SummerSlam. So something's looking kind of weird there. I mean, can we say John Cena just can't beat CM Punk?
Oh, he said it, not me.
Yeah. Did you forget Raw 1000 there, where Big Show saved saved Punk's ass not once but twice in the same match?
Oh, I remember, but I'm just saying that.
But yeah, he hasn't beaten him one-on-one by pin or submission. I get you on that part.
So let's start. Oh, you know what? And you bring up a good point. And let's look at this. Look at it this way. Where's Big Show?
Probably stuck at Paul Martin's house watching some pornographic films right now.
And I'll even do it like this. I'll predict it like this. Everyone said that Brock Lesnar's not coming back to the WWE. But we all got to remember, if history learn anything, Paul Heyman used to manage Big Show. Who to say Big Show does not go back to Paul Heyman and help CM Punk again? Like I said, CM Punk retains his title at Night of Champions. What? I'm done.
Wow. You know what, Sean? Let's go back to something real quick. Your storyline, for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, go to facebook.com/group/Wrestling Commentary Central, and you'll find out what I'm talking about. Mr. Sean Jones right here writes, his stories about how he predicts, how he, story tells. He basically tells you how it is, in a format that it's unbelievable. You guys got to read it and check it out. Also follow him on Twitter, and I believe his Twitter is, what is it again, Sean?
Yeah, it's T-Sean. T-Sean Jones. Twitter.
Oh, there it is. If you guys check out the wall, he talks about the rebirth of the NWO. Now, Sean, I'm starting to get iffy about that. Due to what happened last night, here's my deal with this. I believe NWO will not return, but Paul Heyman will bring out his own stable. That, for sure, I could guarantee you guys right now.
Yeah, I'll say and I'll say it like this, because the internet works so well with the wrestling industry and the dirt sheet and everything like that. I really don't like to read spoilers, but sometimes I get caught.
Right.
We have Kevin Nash, a couple months back saying, after seeing the DX reunion,
right,
how he would like to get NWO together, and he would like CM Punk to help him leave the new NWO.
right.
Well, that won't even look like it'll even happen. I hate to say it, but I mean, if it does, and CM Punk wants to call it his own, it probably won't be, like you said, it won't be called NWO. Some people calling it the Dangerous Alliance.
Yeah. 2.0.
2.0, exactly.
Yep.
And it could happen. It could happen, and I mean, it may happen. Like I said, Big Show, CM Punk, Heyman, who even knows, Brock Lesnar.
Speaking of the Dangerous Alliance, let's talk to Mr. Maurice, the human encyclopedia. Maurice, I really never followed WCW that much. I was always a WWE head.
Right.
Now, break it down for me. What the hell is a Dangerous Alliance 2.0?
All right. For those who don't remember,
Like
all
me?
right, in WCW, Paul Heyman went by the name Paul E. Dangerously.
Yep.
He had a mission. It was to pretty much take over WCW, mainly by destroying WCW's superface, Sting. To do this, he will recruit one man to like lead a faction. That man would be the recently defected from the WWE, Ravishing Rick Rude. Rude would defeat Sting at November's Clash of Champions for the United States Heavyweight title. After working a scam with then World Champion Lex Luger. But Heyman felt that Rude would need protection because Sting would obviously try to seek retribution. So to do this, he would recruit World Television Champion Stunning Steve Austin. He will recruit former tag team champions Larry Zbyszko, Arn Anderson, and Beautiful Bobby Eaton. Collectively, they would be known as the Dangerous Alliance. And what they would do was they pretty much took out anybody who was a superface at this time. Whether it be Sting, whether it's Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Dustin Rhodes, or Barry Windham, or anybody who would dare challenge any member of the Alliance. And the Dangerous Alliance, believe it or not, actually at one point held every title except the Heavyweight Championship, which eventually Sting would win. But they had Rude, who was primarily the United States champion. Austin was the TV champion, and Anderson and Eaton would be the tag team champions. And they pretty much ran roughshod throughout WCW until like War Games came about. And then shortly after, Zbyszko got kicked out of the group, and then when Bill Watts took over WCW, he slowly but surely broke the Dangerous Alliance up. But for the short time they were together, they were a very dangerous faction within WCW.
If you told me to tell you who the hell was a Dangerous Alliance for $1 million. Damn, I would have owed you $1 million. You serious? This is see, ladies and gentlemen, that are actually paying attention to this. This is why we call him the human encyclopedia. This man knows it from top to bottom, left to right, side to side. That's what she said. Hey now, but seriously though, I didn't know about that. That's crazy. You just taught me that like in 5 minutes. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, well, actually, it's because a lot of people like who followed forget Paulie. Yeah, because Paulie was like very notorious back in his like aside from that, like only way you would know Paul Heyman in WCW is because he used to feud a lot with Jim Cornette, especially during their brief time when Midnight Express were both when Cornette's Midnight Express were a face tag team.
Right. See, because I mean, like I said, I didn't know how Dangerous Alliance was. When you started talking about Briscoe, Arneson, and back then was damn, I fucking had it right on top of my head. But you know him as Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm like, wait a minute. I was like, weren't some of them horsemen, and weren't some of them doing their own thing somewhere else?
Yeah, well, like I said, at that point, remember, at that point in time, Flair had left, so Anderson was kind of on his own, and remember, Austin was just still on the rise, so that's why he was recruited to the Alliance, because, and then, like I said, here's an interesting thing, I brought up how Heyman and Eaton were longtime rivals,
right? Back
in late '80s, and it was it actually, if I go back to when Rude actually won the U.S. title, Beautiful Bobby was actually one of the people who tried to help Sting get back, because let me set this up beforehand. Sting was injured earlier in the night by Lex Luger. Then Paul Heyman comes out and announces to Jim Ross and Tony Schiavone that there's a clause in the contract that if Sting is unable to compete by the bell time, Rude will automatically win the U.S. title. So Sting commandeered an ambulance to get back to the arena. And then, he tried to bang on the door, but the doors were locked. So, Dustin Rhodes and a couple other guys, including Beautiful Bobby, tried to, help Sting get back into the arena so he could, beat the bell. So it's like...
What? Not to cut you off, but you're telling me Goldust was in there as well?
Dustin wasn't, he was one of Sting's allies. He was he would actually become an enemy because he was still feuding with Austin at that point in time.
Wow. Maurice, I swear, when you're telling me this story, I'm looking at the damn screen wow, are you serious? Goldust was there too? Really? You got me shocked here. I'm really? Are they really there? Wow, this is actually going on? I'm being really serious about this. I'm not joking around. I'm being really serious about this. I did not even know about that. When I actually stopped watching WCW back, I think the last time I saw WCW was, do you guys remember El Gigante?
Yeah, El Gigante, yeah.
Yeah, okay. When he debuted, that's the last time I saw it.
Yeah.
That's the last time I saw WCW, and after that, it was just full-blown, straight WWE. I mean, this whole Monday Night War thing they had going on as well, I didn't pay attention to any of that crap. I'll be honest with you. But, Sean, what about you? What did you think about the Dangerous Alliance?
Oh, man. Are we talking about the new one, or you want to talk? Are you talking about the old one?
Let's go to the old one first.
Well, from hearing that, it is a dangerous alliance. I'm not gonna touch it. I mean, like fight those guys? Hell no.
I'm serious. I'm like looking at my damn screen like a little kid. Like, come on, Maurice, tell me more. This is really interesting. You're actually going to make me go to YouTube and dig some of these videos out.
You will love them.
Yeah, like I said, if you want like the best ones to look for, they actually show like on a WCW Saturday Night, they actually show the formation. They actually show like Paulie introducing everybody into the Dangerous Alliance for the first time. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there's a video on that, and like I said, you can look for like I said, Clash of Champions, Sting versus Rude in '91. It'll show the whole scenario on how, like, what led up to the Dangerous Alliance being formed, and then like I said, you can look for Wrestle War '92. Look for their War Games match, and you'll actually see how the Dangerous Alliance began to disintegrate.
Right. Damn. You're gonna start asking. I'm gonna have to start looking these videos up right now. Paul Martin, are you ready for this? Are you ready?
Yep.
And you're should. Beat Sheamus this Sunday?
I would enjoy it because Sheamus is getting to be pretty stale as champion, in my opinion.
Why is that? Stale?
I don't know. Oh, I don't know. It's just something fresh, and then also plus actually Alberto. He needs to win, something big because it doesn't feel like the company's really pushing him, to the point where people should be convinced on the guy.
I don't know. Retaliate, please. Retaliate, please.
Wow, you said that Sheamus is not fresh? That kind of hurt.
Okay, I'm not saying the fresh. Well, okay, I'm just saying like something fresh, like having having something like a new champion, because man, it's kind of like getting old. Like Sheamus comes in, he does a couple bro kicks before that got banned and stuff like that, and then he doesn't spin, and then, woohoo, you're champion. Woohoo, let's have a new one.
Now, would you? Are you now? Oh wow, let me say my words. Obviously, you're probably upset about Sheamus facing Del Rio again, right?
Yep.
Now, if he has someone new, would you say that's fresh, or would you still stick with the, Sheamus is not shit?
I would still stick with it. Yeah, I would.
Okay. Wow.
Maurice.
Yeah.
New champ or same old non-fresh champ, like the way Mr. Martin says over here?
Yeah. I was, you know what, and not to be disrespectful towards Paul on this one, but I get so sick and tired of people talking about champion, like how long a champion should be a champion before it gets like old. Because no offense, I feel that is such a bitch and a cop out right there. Because again, I'm not going to. No, I'm going to go general with that one because I'm sorry. Damn. If I feel like sometimes if a champion is too short, then it's like you're devaluing the title. And it's like, I'm like, you know what? It's up to the, part of it's got to be up to the champion himself to like do something. And I was like, I actually think Sheamus did something funny because, like, if we saw the promo last night, when he decided to bust out the whole Jewish thing, I actually thought it was hilarious because it's like, all right, he's bringing something new. He's bringing something new to his persona a little bit, and it was like, all right, Sheamus obviously isn't spinning his wheels, and it's like,
Right.
not only is he showing himself to be a dominant champion, he's now showing himself to be a champion who's not going to be like one-dimensional or whatever, as far as his personality or even his moveset, like bringing it to the Cloverleaf to the mix. I don't know what he's going to eventually name it, but it's like, I personally dig the move, but in essence as to what will happen Sunday, even though I know Boston is a huge Irish population or whatever, but yeah, I'm seeing Del Rio be the new champion somehow, because like I said, somehow I do not see that title escaping him permanently. It's that sooner or later he is going to get it.
Now I want to ask you this question, Maurice. Are you a John Cena fan?
I will admit, I admit personally, I think that I got no problem with the guy. Like,
okay,
as far as character-wise or nothing. The only thing I will say about Cena is that sometimes I do wish that he would, like the promo he did last night, I would like to see more of that Cena.
Okay, that was sick last night, by the way. That was sick last night. But go ahead, Sean.
Because you say you said it depend on the superstar that if they want to hold the title. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong. At one point, I did like Cena, but it kind of got to the point where I kind of got tired of seeing him with the championship.
Well, I would have. Oh, sorry, Sean.
No, go ahead.
Nah, because I thought you. Nah, because you broke up for. Yeah, because I broke up on my half, so I didn't hear you.
Oh, I was just saying, like, with Cena, he kind of. I got tired of seeing him with the championship, and some of the same old stuff that he kind of did, which made me say, okay, dude, like, you're kind of boring to me now. I'm not saying that I turned on him, but it was just the fact that he wasn't being the Cena that we used to know. And that's okay because you had to change it up, but, it kind of got tired of seeing him as champion.
True. It was
all right.
It's like hard when you're trying to like change things up on your own, or even if you're trying to change things up as far as like having a company try and like help like redefine who you are, but at the same time there's like a point where it's like, guys, when they get the championship, and I'm going to actually bring up a thing Cena said like a couple weeks ago to Punk. You got to believe in your heart that you are the best, because as soon as you stop saying it, guess what? People are going to stop believing it. And it's like, and actually, this was going to be my point for my show tomorrow, but actually I might change it up with the whole because I know we're going to probably still have the king in our mind. But what Cena does now is no different from what Hogan and Flair did in the 80s. No different than what Sting, Hitman, Austin, Rock, and Taker did in the 90s, or no different what any other top face you can name has done when he has had multiple championships.
Wow, you're actually going to throw the Hitman in there?
Hey, like I said, because when Brett, you got to look at how Brett's career was. When he got the championship, he wasn't ducking nobody because he knew, like, hey, I may only have one shot with this belt. So for as long as Vince lets me hold it, I'm going to take on any. I don't care if it was the war. I don't care if this dude was like jobbing for like the last 6 months or whether this is somebody at the prime of his game. I want this guy to come at me as hard as he can because, hey, I'm the World Wrestling Federation champion. I'm not going to duck anybody.
Right. Paul, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
All right. I'm going to go back to your comment about what you said about Sheamus. Now,
Okay.
my question to you is this. Hold on this one. My question to you is this. So, if you think that about Sheamus, what's your honest opinion about CM Punk, though?
CM Punk just is kind of like that hero type. Like he's kind of a mix right now to me. So he's okay with me.
Right. Why is he just okay?
Well, because it's like, the wrestling skills, the mic skills he has, it's just the whole whining like a bitch thing is kind of, turning me off more.
Okay.
Okay, but then actually that's just how he's perceiving the character now, and I can, get that. It's just, being a fan and everything, yeah, you kind of, have that mix reaction, but, oh, hell, I can understand.
Are you proud of him at the fact that he's been champion for over, what is it?
The 10 months?
I think he's in the top 10 or tied right now, I believe, right?
Is it over 300?
No. Tonight he just moved to ninth place.
Oh, okay. But what's the actual total on how many days, though?
Yeah,
I could have sworn
said this last night.
I could have sworn Cena or Cole said it last night, where it was like it's over 300.
No. He's at 297 right now.
Okay. Paul, seriously, do you really think CM Punk should just drop the belt already and just shut the fuck up already, or what?
Yeah, he should drop it. It could actually change things up for Raw and stuff, but I don't know. Just to change things up and just give somebody else the title for the time being. But then who knows what's going to happen?
Mr. Jones, do you agree with Paul Martin, Maurice, and everybody else, including myself?
All I gotta say is CM Punk is CM Punk.
Okay. Man, I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna use Paul's line, and you know what? To me, CM Punk is just not that fresh anymore. I mean, seriously, it's just a little. I hate to say this, then don't get mad at CM Punk fans out there, but hey, he's just a little boring now. It's like, really, dude?
See, watch it.
I'm just saying. I mean, dude, it's like, okay, drop the pipe bomb. Come on, dude, start talking shit. Make it spicy at least, Like they say in Spanish, put a little crema en los tacos. Add a little cream to your tacos. You just can't eat a taco just, plain, just meat and the tortilla on it, It's like, you got to add something to it.
And, well, then again, it was like, but everybody that jumped on, and whoever brought this up last night on Uncensored, when they said this, I was like, thank you for saying what I have been trying to communicate to people for the last year now. It was like, you had CM Punk deliver this little so-called pipe bomb, and it was like, oh yeah, everybody was on it, but it was like, yo, they went off a dude faster than, yeah, they like got off the dude faster than you had 15 minutes to say, but then it was like, yeah, what have you done since then? And it was like, and I gotta admit, when Cena said this particular line, I was like, to a point, he was dead on with this. So it's like, oh yeah, isn't it ironic that the moment you made the most noise was the night your microphone got cut off on you?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this went from 85-15 Punk to 99-1 Cena, all in one sentence.
Wow. Was anybody else like really excited about what not CM Punk, what Cena said last night? I think that was fabulous.
You know what? And to tell you, man, Cena said everything that Cena said, and I'm not a Cena fan. I was, like I said, everything that Cena said was on point.
So you're telling me you were with Cena he was basic thugonomics?
Yeah, where he had a flashback and went thugonomics. And you know what? And I know CM Punk had to been hurt by that. I know he had to be hurt by that, and it's the honest truth though. But to tell you the truth, I felt that heat. So through the TV, I'm like, ooh, like I'm like I respect Jerry Lawler. I know that was real, but this heat between CM Punk and Cena,
right?
I felt that. It felt real. And
last pick of the night, gentlemen. The biggest story that came in last night. Are you guys ready for this?
Yep. So wait, did Jerry Lawler die or like?
Nah, he's still alive. He's still alive, But since you just walked in before we were about to close this up, what are your thoughts on the fact that Goldberg is getting a Legends contract and should be back anytime soon?
Well, I guess it'll shut the fans up during the Ryback match, but then again, you don't have a need for Ryback anymore if you're going to bring the man back, as Bobby Heenan would call him. I don't have a need for Ryback now if you're going to bring Goldberg in. And I mean, I don't mind Goldberg having a Legends contract. At least with Goldberg, you're going to pay him and you're going to get, at least you're going to get a few TV appearances. You'll get some matches. Kevin Nash got a Legends contract, and the nigga ain't been on TV now once this year. He ain't did nothing.
Mr. Jones, who is next?
Who for Ryback?
For Goldberg. When he comes back,
nobody.
Yeah.
Oh, nobody. He doesn't need to come back. He needs to stay away. This is the thing I keep hearing about Ryback and Goldberg. Goldberg, for whatever he's worth, he did his job in WCW. He did a horrible job in WWE, and he just needs to stay away. Yes, he can get his Legends contract because he was in WCW and Vince owns WCW, and he just needs to stay away. And I'll even go this far. If you put Ryback up against Goldberg in his younger years, you'll see that Ryback is a lot physically better than Goldberg. And if those two get in the middle of the ring, Ryback will dominate. I don't give a damn how many times you spear Ryback. His ass is going to get back up, and he's going to straight smash Goldberg. I'm sorry, Goldberg, but I'm only telling it like it is, brother.
Damn.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it at all angles. I'm looking at it from a writer standpoint. I'm looking at it as a wrestling standpoint. I'm looking at everything. Goldberg, stay away. Do movies. Do something else. Do not come back in the middle of the ring. Do not come to WWE. If you want to go to TNA. Help them.
God damn, Sean. I mean, I thought I was bad at talking shit about CM Punk.
Holy damn, Sean the Body Ventura telling it like it is, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm sorry. I did not mean to go off like that. It's just when I hear people chant Goldberg to Ryback, I'm like, are you serious? Like, yes, he got the little winning streak, and yeah, he's bald head and big and lift guys, two guys at the same time. But come on, look at it. But Goldberg, if you do want to step in the ring, go ahead. All we're going to do is this.
Sean, wake up. We're live.
I don't know how I'm going to follow that one, but
I mean, though, in Goldberg's defense, he got more star power than Ryback. So, you know, and I'm not saying that he's a great wrestler because he's not by a long shot, but his star card does trump Ryback.
Yeah.
This we all know.
Yeah, yeah, I was just saying, a Legends contract, man, this should be more called a missed contract because that's all Goldberg really was.
Amen.
How the hell are you going to call that man a legend? I am sorry. Yo,
The same way they're going to call Doink a legend.
I guess he's a legend for what he did in WCW for the short time span that he was there.
Yeah. I'm sorry. There's Fresh. You just hit my point exactly. Because I'm sorry, if you're going to call somebody who only was in the business for about 3 years at best a legend, I'm like, oh no, you is not pulling that with me. That ain't going to fly. That ain't going to fly.
Like Goldberg is like what he did in the short span in WCW was legendary, and I give him that because of what he did in WCW and for the company. So yeah, cool. But outside of that, like when he got to WWE, his run was crappy, but it was only crappy because we all know that if you are not a homegrown superstar, or if you don't have anything Vince can work with, he doesn't focus on you. Like Goldberg was a household name before he even got to WWE. Like Booker T was a household name before he even got here. So like he couldn't do nothing with, like he couldn't mold them into what Vince McMahon saw for their career because they had a career before they got here. Now guys like Jericho and Ray and Eddie who were getting lost in the shuffle, of course, when you get here, I can mold you into the image of what WWE is, and that's exactly what he did with guys like Jericho, Benoit, and Eddie, and that's why they got their pushes and they got their moment in the spotlight. But you couldn't do nothing with Goldberg because he was Goldberg.
Oh, plus not to mention Oh, sorry, Fresh.
Like the only thing you could do with Goldberg is throw him in there with some top names, which, I mean, he didn't really get the Rock at his best. Like Rock was out of shape and finna leave and go do movies. So, in my opinion, that win is null and void. It doesn't count. Now, had he wrestled the Rock that beat Hogan at WrestleMania, then I'd have been like, you know what? Okay, cool, that counts. And Triple H, I mean, Triple H was wearing compression shorts by the time they wrestled. I don't know what Triple H was doing.
You know, I'm glad you brought Triple H's name up because I was about to say there's the one big reason why Goldberg didn't go over so well in the WWE. Because y'all remember, and as a fact, when I heard about this, I was like, yeah, I would not be surprised. Apparently Triple H and Goldberg got into an incident like when they was out somewhere in public together.
Right, They were at an autograph session at a toy store. This was like maybe 2-3 months before Goldberg even signed. They were at an autograph session, and Goldberg was across the room from Triple H, yelling all kind of obscenities and how he was going to beat him up. It's like no apparent reason. Like he was just going in. And then like Triple H said, like a couple months later, guess who walks through the door? Goldberg shakes his hand and said, "We're gonna make a lot of money."
Yeah. Oh, and then not to mention, speaking of people, Goldberg has had shot his mouth off. Well, I still remember when he went on the Tonight Show, or it's this Austin that went on the Tonight Show, but it's like either one of them was on the Tonight Show and said, if you want to put up a 100K winner take all, I said, I'll take him on one-on-one or whatever. I was like, yeah, I was wondering what was going to happen if, when the Goldberg-Austin showdown would go down.
Paul Martin, are you a Goldberg supporter?
Nope, not really.
Are you saying that because you think maybe one of these Bastion? See, no, maybe so. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Paul, you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay, there. No, seriously, you're a Goldberg supporter? Are you serious?
I was really never a fan. I just thought it was, like, okay, the streak was awesome in a way, but then it was, I don't know. I just didn't really care for the guy as much.
Or Goldberg?
Huh?
You prefer Stone Cold Steve Austin over Goldberg?
I would prefer Stone Cold, over him any day, any month, anywhere.
Okay.
But you know what, though? I do think if Goldberg does come back, he will only be there for short spurts. Because, like with a name like Goldberg, he would only be brought back to give you, like, the first time ever matches. Like Goldberg wrestling Cena would be, like, it would be huge. Now, the match quality will be garbage. Because we all know neither one of these guys are the best technical wrestlers ever. Like, not by a long shot. Like, the match quality will be dead horrible. But as far as, like, the media attention it will probably get and, the hype that you could build around it, like, you could build that and make it worth pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm. It'll probably have the same build-up as what The Rock did.
No, because that's The Rock, but still, like, Goldberg, Cena, first time ever anywhere live, SummerSlam or, like, Survivor Series, like, it's not WrestleMania. No, it's not.
No.
Mm.
No, please do not put that at WrestleMania.
Goldberg should have never stepped foot on the grandest stage of all time ever again after that fiasco that him and Brock Lesnar put on at 20.
Yeah. I was about to say neither should Lesnar, but that's another issue. Actually, there's one extra thing about Goldberg is, like, see, what ruins his whole career was, like, because I don't know if not too many people noticed, but he actually did put out a book. And it's called Who's Next. Yes.
Oh, God.
It came out a while ago, but in the book it mentions that streak. Yeah, it was only a month long because he wound up losing at a house show in October of '97. So as usual, WCW refused to acknowledge it, and yada yada. And then Goldberg only talks about it like after he's gone from WWE.
Damn. Anything else, Sean, before we go?
Not much on my part. Just hearing about Goldberg just kind of put me.
You're like, fuck Goldberg, I don't give a fuck.
It did. It really did. Goldberg's a dick. I'm sorry. Did I say that?
Yeah, you did.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Oh, man. Every Monday night, don't forget to check out the show. Tuesday nights, Overload. Wednesday night, we go rocking and rumbling with Maurice, talking about local indie shows and plus more. Every Thursday night, right after TNA, it's TNA's Recipe. And every Saturday night, it is Breakdown. For more information, go to facebook.com/group/Wrestling Commentary Central or follow us on Twitter at WCC Live. My name is EL.CIBERNETICO along with Mr. Jones.
Peace out, everybody. Thank you for tuning in.